Kia ora e te whānau, welcome or welcome back to my channel Wairoa Wellness. My name is Bouquet and today I'm going to get stuck straight into this conversation because I'm really excited about it. We're going to be talking about who our friends are. If you like the stuff that I talk about, feel free to subscribe and share with your community and pop your questions below. I would love to hear from you and I can answer your questions in a future video. But today we are going to be discussing who our friends are and why we need to be conscious of who we choose as our friends, because we are told to protect our energy. We are told to stay away from low frequency people, and we are told that others can pull us out of alignment. But what if that is not entirely accurate about how it works? That is the question that we're diving into right now. What if that is not actually accurate about how it works? What if the people in our circle are not lowering or raising our frequency? They are actually just reflecting it. They are reflecting our frequency. There is that Hermetic principle that I like to go back to, and it applies to so many things. As above, so below. We're going to focus on the as within, so without part of that principle, because our external reality mirrors our internal landscape. We all, everyone and everything carries the yin and yang. We are all yin and yang. We carry light and shadow, expansion and contraction, fear and love. Nothing is missing. Nothing is broken. But whatever we are feeding internally, that becomes louder and is amplified into our external reality, into our external experience, so that we experience it externally. The friends that we choose do not create our frequency. They amplify what is already residing within us. Is logic if we're using the Hermetic principle as within, so without. If we're amplifying comparison, competition, drama, gossip, avoidance, victimhood, resentment, unprocessed emotion, then we will see those patterns mirrored in our circle. And they don't exist in our external experience as punishment. We don't experience them externally as punishment or as proof that we are flawed, but simply we experience it as information. I mentioned in another video about how our external reality is a tool that we can use. It is filled with information. And so here is where it gets more important. Sometimes the person who triggers you is not necessarily doing anything wrong. They may have good intentions. They may be simply living out their truth. They may simply be being themselves. But something inside you has reacted and has been triggered by that individual. That reaction is not the reaction within you is not about them being low frequency. It is about a frequency that resides within you that is being activated. The trigger lives not in them, but in you, in your perception. The frequency is within you, and it is being triggered by this individual to bring it to the surface. That person, the individual, has agreed to play a role to help you on your journey to bring those frequencies to the surface so that you can acknowledge them so that you can witness for yourself in your external experience that those frequencies are within you, and you can express them with unconditional love and bring that frequency back to neutral, back to 0 point, back to center with unconditional love, integrating it back to unconditional love at 0 point, back to being the balance. So two people can experience the same action. One can feel inspired, one can feel threatened. The difference is not the external event. The external event remains the same. The difference is the internal landscape of the individual. Life, external experiences, is always giving us information about ourself, about our growth, about our journey. And if we are amplifying growth, and so if we're amplifying growth and expansion and compassion and depth and sovereignty, then that too will be reflected back to us in our external environment. So this is not about labeling people as high frequency and as low frequency, as good or bad associates. It's about creating awareness. It's about awareness, because awareness gives us options, and options allow us to become the conscious participant in our journey. If we remember the spectrum, at one end is darkness, at one end is light. At one end is unconsciousness, at the other end is consciousness. Awareness is the path from unconsciousness. The more and more awareness that we have, the more conscious we become. Consciousness is light. Consciousness gives us more options. Awareness is options. So when we become aware of who is in our circle, we can observe the frequencies in our circle. Remember, Tesla said to look at everything in terms of frequency and energy and vibration. So look at your friends in your circle and the frequencies in your circle, and gently ask yourself, what frequencies within me feel comfortable here? What frequencies within me are being strengthened here? What frequencies within me are being amplified here? And what frequencies within me am I feeding here? Because the deeper truth of it is that you are never out of alignment. We get told we get pulled out of alignment, we need to bring ourselves back into alignment, but you are never out of alignment. If your circle reflects chaos, then chaos is active within you for a reason. It is being pulled to the surface for a reason. If your circle reflects growth, then growth is active within you for a reason. Your external world is not evidence that you are failing. It is feedback. It is information to help you on your journey of growth, to help you for your own evolution. It is never a negative. It is feedback, information, clues, and indicators. It is always there for your journey, for your growth, for your expansion. When you realize that your friends are reflections and not the cause, then something within you can shift. You stop playing the blame game. You stop fearing contamination from others. You stop trying to fix other people. You stop trying to change other people. And instead you go internal and you ask yourself, what frequency within me do I wish to amplify now? What frequencies is my external circle showing that I can choose to integrate and bring back to unconditional love those frequencies, or continue amplifying them? The choice is yours, because you are sovereign. You're this kick-ass powerful soul that can't even fit into a human body. You're so powerful and massive, you can't even fit into your tiny human body. You're all the way out there. Pretty kick-ass. You're not this leaf that's being blown about by people's energy. You're not this boat without a sail that's being blown about by life, by thoughts that life is happening to you. You are the field in which resonance happens. You are the field in which resonance happens. Choosing your friends consciously is not about superiority. It is about intention. It is about just deciding, making the conscious choice about which aspects of yourself, which frequencies that already reside within you, are you ready to express? Are you ready to grow? Are you ready to release with unconditional love and return back to 0 point? And sometimes you may realize that you have outgrown certain dynamics, because that is all part of the journey. That's all part of growth. As you grow, you release what no longer serves you. That lesson has been learnt. It's time to move on to your next lesson, to your next experience. So when you realize that you've outgrown certain dynamics, it is not because they are wrong and you are right. It's because a different frequency within you is ready to be expressed. Your friends do not determine your vibration. They simply reveal it, as within, so without. So if your world is reflecting something back to you, what are you ready to choose next as the conscious participant of your own journey, as the sovereign, as a kick-ass powerful soul that can't even fit into your physical body? What are you ready to choose next? Kia ora.